On this channel, we call it Million Dollars Made Easy. I like to run numbers for people, and I got a request just recently. He said he's 44 years old. He has $1 million already in his investment accounts. He wants to know where he might be. He ultimately wants to get to the goal of $3 million by the time he retires, and then we'll look at those figures because he wants to take out $7,000 a month. But look at these numbers. Beginning in 1929, again, we need to consider 20 years down the road. 20 years down the road, he'd have 1.844. So he needs to contribute something. Again, 1929 is one of the worst case scenarios. In fact, let me go ahead and update this to show you the numbers for every single year from 1924 on. Again, these are the returns from the S&P 500. In the worst case scenario in the last 100 years, starting with $1 million without adding another dime, you would end up with 1.844 million. In the last, since 1973, you'd basically have the worst case scenario, you'd have your $3 million. But his goal is to have the $3 million when he retires. So let's see if we can get this $100, or this up to $3 million in the next 20 years. Again, I'm assuming at age 44, you would be going to age 64. Well, let's just pick $500 a month. Now let's update this and see if this gets anywhere near 3 million. Yeah, 2.12 million. But since 1973, if you look at the returns again, what we've done is, if you look at the worst case scenario, he's not there. But every other scenario, including the 2000s, 1973 and 74, those down years, since 1973, he already make it in the worst case scenario. If the returns are like the last 50 years, he'd already have the 3 million. But I can keep running numbers up here to try to get this one up to 3 million in the worst case scenario. But I want you to notice the medians. The median 7.98 million, and so is the median right here, $8 million. So again, he's going to make it to 3 million unless something worse than the depression happens, or even the depression type returns. But let's look at let's say he's got to $3 million. Let's go ahead and put 3 million in here. He wants to take out $7,000 a month. I can tell you without even looking, he's well below the 4% withdrawal rule, which is what everybody's gone by. 2.8%, he's going to have no problem. I don't even have to run the numbers. I'm going to run it for every single year just to see how many times you might have run out of money. Beginning with $3 million, by the way, congratulations if that works out for you, and you're already well on your way with $1 million. Okay, let's update this. Oh, we want to increase that by 3% a year also, 3% COLA. So let's go ahead and run the numbers. 7,000 a month, beginning with 3,000. Never in 20 years would you run out of money in the last 100 years. The only time you would have is if I go to the 30 year. I don't show that column right here, but let me click over one. That's 1929. Again, 1929 was so horrible. You begin with 3 million, and right off the bat, you're down to 913,000 after 4 years. Again, that's why everybody recommends putting some in a cash reserve account. You put it in a cash reserve account, and that's going to go away. You're going to see 25 years, 20 years. You're going to have plenty of money with this scenario, $3 million. Again, nobody's going to leave 100% in the S&P 500 once they retire, and that's why it's so important to have this cash reserve account. So when the market's going down, it's coming out of the cash reserve account. So when the market does come back, you're going to hit these good returns, 53, 47, 46. So in that case, let me go ahead and update this with the 40% going in the cash reserve. And then you get rid of that one time in the 30-year period in 1929, because you can see it right here, 1929. Starting with 3 million, even after 20 years of withdrawing 7,000, 3% COLA, you got money. You got almost 2 million left, and it continues to grow from there. So hopefully these numbers make sense to you. Again, the importance of having some in a cash reserve account. If he didn't do that, then he would run out of money one time in the last 100 years, and that's after 20-some years, 29 years. So hopefully these numbers make sense to you. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll run numbers for you, and congratulations to this individual that is well on his way with already having $1 million at age 44. Consider subscribing, share this with your friends, like this video. Let's get this information out to as many people as possible. Thanks for watching.